Hello, people. Oh, who's texting me?
Hey, my name is Panna. All of my life, I've been traveling and experiencing different cultures from all around the world. I initially traveled to get lost and to get away from the cookie-cutter lifestyle I had back at home. But instead, I came to remember the one person I've been all along, and this is my story. Most people choose to go to college far from home, but I thought differently. Instead, I chose to cross the pond in order to live in a city unlike any other. A place thriving with culture and diversity, but still has a fairy tale characteristic to it. London has always been a place I've dreamt of living in for so long. Now, studying abroad may look glamorous and all, with the never-ending pictures on Instagram and Snapchat, making it out to look as though we're having the time of our lives overseas. And don't get me wrong, we are, but that's far from the truth. For me, being on my very own thousands of miles away from my family and friends made the experience much more difficult. I went from consistently being around my family and friends to being completely alone, feeling very lonely and isolated from the world around me. After a month or two, I was finally beginning to adjust to life in London, and I was genuinely happy to be abroad. But back at home, things went differently. In a span of 1 week, 3 of my family members had to be rushed to the hospital. If you haven't noticed, my family is my rock. They are my biggest support system I have while being abroad, and as crazy as they can be, I cherish and love them unlike any other. So, in the mix of having fun and being overseas, there was traumatic events happening back at home. And to have this feeling of not being able to help my family or even physically be there for them was really hard. I was consistently waiting for a text message or a phone call to be updated on how things were going on back at home. It's tough trying to live in the moment when the ones you love the most are suffering. I couldn't fully enjoy things anymore. Thankfully, things turned around and I was lucky enough to meet some pretty amazing people on this crazy journey. Without them, my experience wouldn't have been the same. I am so thankful for the opportunities I've received while being abroad. It's changed me in several different ways. I walked in as a very dependent and naive individual, but I'm leaving as a much more confident and independent person. Traveling alone doesn't seem so scary anymore. I almost prefer it. I found comfort in being alone, but also met a lot of cool and interesting people along the way. There was plenty of opportunities and places to travel, but I unfortunately couldn't go everywhere I wanted to go. And that's okay, because I know this is just the start of it all, and who knows, maybe I'll do this again.